Hey, what's up guys, Barry Benson 2 here, back again with another video, and let's be real, it's about fucking time. You know, I've been neglecting y'all kinda, so I need to get back on that, and I'm sorry. If you guys want to know why I haven't been uploading, just go watch my last two videos. Those ones show it pretty well. But yeah, we're dropping a new video. I know y'all are so happy about that. You see that the mouth when you see that Barry B. Benson 2 uploaded a video, you know. Anyways, today we're going back to the good old days. We got an Iceberg video. This is to make up for, you know, I didn't drop one on April Fool's Day like how I usually do. But, yeah. And since today's the 20-year anniversary of one of my favorite game series of all time, Riddle School, and because there was no fucking way I was getting Riddle RPG 2 out today. Maybe I would have been able to if I didn't make Super Minecraft Kid the RPG, but whatever. We're doing the Riddle School Iceberg. We got 5 layers to go over, so let's just get right into it. Riddle Transfer. Riddle Transfer is kind of like the follow-up series to Riddle School, and it shows what happens to the kids after Viz dies and they're freed from vision. Shit, that was kind of like a tongue twister. Anyways, there's 2 Riddle Transfer games, and they're probably the best games in the whole series. And this is also where most of the lore comes in, so that's pretty epic. Riddle Transfer 2 was canceled. Riddle Transfer 2 was originally first announced at the same time Riddle Transfer came out. However, it would soon afterwards be confirmed as canceled as a result of the fact that it was part of a much larger plan that ultimately fell through and all got canceled. However, later, around 5 years later, I think, Jonachrome came back to it and made it with a whole new plan and made the finale to the series. Pico's School. Pico's School was the first ever Newgrounds game and is the game that inspired Riddle School. In fact, I'm pretty sure every Riddle School game, or at least the first few ones, have a note in the menu stating that Riddle School is a parody of Pico's School. John Bro, better known as Jonachrome or Jonochrome, I don't know how to say it, is the creator of Riddle School and is also better known as the creator of One Night at Flumpty's. We're definitely gonna talk about him later in the video. Riddle School 3 Secret Ending. If you beat Riddle School 3 2 times in a row, you'll get a secret ending where instead of showing like Phil leaving the school in his car and shit, the game will like fake cut out and a monkey doll will appear on screen alongside the text, "You have been possessed by Monkey Doll," which is a reference to both the Tails doll creepypasta and also an old animation Jonachrome made. Well, that's it for layer 1. Let's just go to layer 2. You know, what else do you want me to say? Smiley redesigns. Although for the most part, pretty much every character at some point in the series gets a redesign to some level, whether it's like their outfit changing or something like that, Smiley probably gets the most severe redesigns. Most notably, this entry is referring to how in Riddle School 5, she's given eyelashes, and in Riddle Transfer, she's given hair. According to Jonachrome, he added these features to her because he was upset people kept thinking Smiley was a boy, so he wanted to make it more obvious that she's a girl. Locker glitch. In Riddle School 1, there was a well-known glitch that you could grab the hall pass without opening the locker. However, this was patched in the Legacy Edition update to the game. According to Jonachrome, the reason why this glitch happened is because he had originally made the hitbox for the hall pass too big. One Night at Flumpty's. One Night at Flumpty's is a Five Nights at Freddy's fan game series made by Jonachrome, and he's definitely more well known for Flumpty's than he is Riddle School. But yeah, that's really about it. I've made some videos on Flumpty's before, so just go watch one of those if you want more info. And be sure to keep this one in mind because I'll definitely be mentioning Flumpty's a few more times later in the Iceberg. Blue Sky. Blue Sky is a song made by Paragon X9 and is probably the song most commonly associated with the Riddle School series, as it is the background music in Riddle School 3 and 4. Diz was a foreign exchange student. Originally, Diz was planned to appear as an actual character in Riddle School 3 and not just as a poster, with the joke being that he was a student at the school, but since that he's an alien, he's a foreign exchange student from outer space. He was scrapped for unknown reasons and was later brought back, but obviously with a whole new story and background and all that. However, technically the foreign exchange student idea was still used, as according to Jonachrome, Diz takes on that persona in Riddle School 4 as his cover for being in Phil's dream. Well, that's it for layer 2. Let's just get a move on to layer 3. Riddle Transfer 3 through 5. So remember how earlier I mentioned Riddle Transfer 2 was originally canceled? Well, this is why, because whenever Jonachrome had first conceptualized the idea for the Riddle Transfer games, there was going to be 5 of them. Damn, that's a lot of games. As for what these games would have been, the original ideas for Riddle Transfer 2 were either a game showing the kids traversing through the sewers under Zone 5.1, or one where Diz gets recaptured and has to escape Zone 5.1 again, only to then get recaptured at the end of the game. As for Riddle Transfer 3, it would have shown Phil getting put back into the dream simulation, where he would have had to escape from multiple dreams, which all would have been scrapped Riddle School game ideas. Riddle Transfer 4 was going to be about the kids escaping like a maximum security school or something. And then the 5th one was going to be something weird, like them having to stop a big bad we'll get into later. If you want more details on what these games would have been about, just go watch the Riddle Transfer 2 developer commentary. As for why all of these games would end up getting scrapped, it ultimately just came down to the fact that Jonachrome had thought of like a bunch of story and lore ideas, but he didn't really make them make sense at the time. And he also had thought about the story before thinking about whether or not he had enough puzzle ideas to make fucking 5 more games. Oh snap. Oh Snap is a comic about Pac-Man Jonachrome made when he was a little ass kid. In the comic, Phil makes a quick cameo to make fun of the fact that Riddle School is unoriginal. If you want more information on this comic, Jonachrome made like an hour-long video about it, so just go watch that. Riddle School references in One Night at Flumpty's. In pretty much every Flumpty's game, there's at least one Riddle School Easter egg. In ONAF 1, Smiley's severed head is on the desk in the office. In ONAF 2, the flying pig from the end of Riddle School 3 is cut open and stuck to the wall in the office. And Diz's dead body is on one of the hallway cameras. And in ONAF 3, there's a camera with math posters on the walls, which are the same posters that are in Mr. Munch's room in Riddle School 4. Combining items glitch. For a very long time, because of the specific coding techniques used in Riddle School 3 to make it so the player could combine items, specific computers were unable to run those commands, making it so that you couldn't combine items while playing the game, making it impossible. This was later fixed in the Legacy Edition update for the game, and this is also why for a while, whenever Jonachrome's website was still up, he had 2 versions of Riddle School 3 on there, so that if your computer didn't work for one version, you could play the other one. Riddle School 4 was planned to be an actual game. The original plan for Riddle School 4 is that it was going to be an actual Riddle School game that followed the same structure as all the other ones, just this time Phil escaping college, and it was planned to be much bigger than Riddle School 3. It was eventually scrapped and was originally just straight up canceled because Jonachrome just lost steam with the project and he couldn't think of any puzzle ideas after the first room. The only reason why it did release, and then we later got all the other stuff, is because he thought it would be funny as an April Fool's joke. Origin of Phil's last name. According to John, Phil's last name, Eggtree, comes from a Yahoo email address he had made, where he put the last name Eggtree. As for why his name is Phil, it's because Philip is John's middle name, and Phil is just Jonachrome's fucking self-insert. Alright, that's it for layer 3. Let's get on to layer 4. Shah-Dalat. So earlier we talked about the scrapped Riddle transfer games. Well, you're probably thinking, since Viz was dead by this point, and Diz was intended to be a good guy the whole time, then who was gonna be the bad guy for these scrapped games? Well, that was gonna be this guy, Shah-Dalat. Not really much is known about him. All we really know is that he has a stupid-ass name that's an anagram for slow death, and he was apparently gonna be some sort of like evil scientist or something, and the end of Riddle Transfer 5 would have had Diz fucking kill him as part of his like redemption arc. Get bent. Get bent is a European slang expression which is essentially the equivalent of telling someone to fuck off. It was also at some points allegedly used as a homophobic remark. Anyways, in Riddle Transfer, you have the option to tell Big Toe to get bent. According to John, at the time when he made the game, he didn't know what get bent means, which makes sense because get bent is only really used in Europe. It's not really anywhere else. And he just thought it sounded funny. Also, if I kind of fucked up the meaning of get bent, I'm sorry. I'm not fucking European, so well technically I am, but you know what I mean. Animations. Pretty simple. During the time John was actively making Riddle School games, he had dropped a couple just random animations of Phil. Nothing much to write home about, just stuff like a reanimated version of the mug shot from Riddle School 5, or an animation of Riddle School 2 Phil doing some origami. Crap Game Compilation. Crap Game Compilation is another series John made on Newgrounds around the same time he made Riddle School. The series acted pretty simple. Each game was just a game collection of small games that all kinda sucked, most of which being parodies of pre-existing games. The reason why it's on the Iceberg is because the first Crap Game compilation contains 2 Riddle School parodies in it. The first one is Riddle School 5, but bad, which is exactly what it sounds like. We'll talk about the second one later. Flumpty meets Phil Eggtree from Riddle School. Over the years, John consistently has made and released random sketches he's done, some of which including Riddle School characters. Some absolute classics are Smiley holding a gun, Smiley saying fuck, and this fucking disgusting picture of Phil. This is like the worst thing Jonachrome has ever contributed to society. Fuck him for making this picture. Anyways, this entry is primarily fixated on this image he drew of Flumpty and Phil meeting up. Riddle School collection. After the Henry Stickmin collection came out, a lot of people asked John to make a Riddle School collection, and although sadly he made a video saying he wasn't gonna do that, he did kind of do a compromise, which led to him making the Legacy Edition updates for all the games, which added some like quality of life changes and fixed glitches, stuff like that. One thing important to note is that John has on multiple occasions said that he likes the idea of doing a Riddle School collection and remaking all the games, so it's not entirely off the table. Well, that's it for Layer 4. Let's get into Layer 5 and finish off the video. Here, let me just get this one out of the way. Jonachrome allegations. Jonachrome's a pedophile, and that makes me really sad because I used to really like him, but now you're not allowed to do that. Fuck you, Jonachrome. Why'd you have to groom a kid? Now I'm not allowed to let people publicly know I like your games, or else I'll get stigmatized as a fucking pedophile defender. Fuck you, you fucking piece of shit. Riddle Retold. Now this one's kind of interesting. Riddle Retold is a scrapped Riddle School game that John only talked about one time in the Riddle Transfer 2 developer commentary. It was essentially going to be a retake on Riddle School 1 with higher quality graphics, but all of the puzzles were going to be different. This is also where the idea of Phil making a fake dummy of himself came from. I Got Riddle Them All. I Got Riddle Them All is a video John made during his epic crash out after confirming that Riddle Transfer 2 was canceled. The video pretty much just shows John deleting all of the game files of all the Riddle School games off his computer. The video is now lost media, and the only evidence that we even have that it ever existed is a screenshot of it and John talking about it in the Riddle Transfer 2 developer commentary. Riddle Birthday. Riddle Birthday is the other Riddle School parody in Crap Game compilation. Pretty much, you play as Yoshi Egg, who is one of Jonachrome's friends, and you just do a bunch of random shit. And John made this game to celebrate Bro's birthday. Phil is the protagonist of One Night at Flumpty's. This is a dumb theory that Phil is the guy you play as in all three of Flumpty's games. The evidence starts and ends at the fact that there's Riddle School Easter eggs in all the Flumpty's games. So dumb. Riddle School was originally about a school shooting. John's original idea for Riddle School is that he wanted to make a game combining Pico School and Madness Combat, which led to him thinking of having a game where Phil runs around just shooting people in the school, with him even saying that he had thought of making the beginning cutscene Phil jumping on the desk and shooting Mr. Calm in the face. This is also why Phil's sprite is just traced from Madness Combat. Very funnily, John was talked out of doing this by his mom because at the time he didn't understand how horribly offensive making a game like this would be. Riddle Transfer 3 could happen. In a semi-recent video John made on his second channel, where he does a bit of an update on his life, he briefly talks about how he's unsure of whether or not he'll make another Riddle School game, with him even saying that he has kind of an idea on how the story could continue. Later, a fan, me, sent him an email asking him about this, where he states that over the years he's kind of wanted to go back to the Riddle School universe. However, nothing is confirmed. This proves that at some point we could get a Riddle Transfer 3 or something like that. However, I think it's unlikely, at least unlikely to happen soon. Well, here we are, the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I did. Well, like, I enjoyed making it. And yeah, that's really it. Like usual, I'm sorry for not uploading. I'll try to do better. I don't know. At this point, I'm just fucking lying to your face about trying to do better because, I've said that every video now, but whatever. Happy 20-year anniversary to Riddle School, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.